Imagine reaching into a jar of loose change you've ignored for years, pulling out one tiny dime, and discovering that it could be worth $3.1 million. Not a rare gold coin locked in a museum. Not a treasure buried underground. Just a small 1988p Roosevelt dime that may have slipped through everyday hands for decades without anyone noticing. For most people, a dime is almost invisible. It gets dropped into parking meters, forgotten in couch cushions, tossed into tip jars, and buried in old coffee cans in the garage. But for a handful of collectors who know exactly what to look for, one specific 1988p dime has become the center of whispers, rumors, and unbelievable auction stories. Because hidden among billions of ordinary dimes is a rare minting mistake so unusual, so mysterious, that experts still talk about how it escaped the United States Mint unnoticed. And if you know how to identify it, your life could change overnight. Late one rainy evening, a retired collector in Pennsylvania sat at his kitchen table sorting through pocket change he had saved for nearly 20 years. He wasn't searching for treasure. He simply enjoyed the routine. The quiet sound of coins clinking together relaxed him after long days. Most nights brought disappointment. Common quarters. Scratched nickels. Worn pennies. Nothing special. But on that night, under the yellow glow of a small desk lamp, he noticed something strange about a 1988p dime. The mint mark looked wrong. At first, he assumed the coin was damaged. But the more he studied it, the stranger it became. The tiny P mint mark appeared oddly shaped, almost like another letter hiding underneath it. His heart started pounding. He grabbed a magnifying glass. Then another. He compared the dime to several others from the same year. That was the moment he realized he might be holding one of the rarest Roosevelt dime errors ever discovered. The story spread quietly among collectors. Some dismissed it as imagination. Others became obsessed. Soon, specialists were examining the coin under microscopes, searching for clues. What they found stunned everyone. And because so few examples were ever found in high condition, collectors began paying shocking amounts to own one. That single discovery transformed an ordinary coin into a modern legend. Now here's where things become even more exciting. Most people have no idea the Philadelphia Mint even used a P mint mark on dimes in 1988. For decades, many American coins carried no mint mark at all. So when collectors hear about a rare 1988p dime error, curiosity explodes immediately. Because it means the mistake is hidden inside a coin many people overlook completely. And somewhere in America, more examples may still exist. Maybe inside old bankrolls. Maybe in inherited collections. Maybe inside forgotten piggy banks. Maybe buried in the bottom of your kitchen drawer. That possibility keeps collectors searching every single day. Now pay very close attention, because this next part could help you identify the coin that changes everything. First, look at the date. You need a 1988 dime. Next, check for the P mint mark just above the date on the front of the coin beneath Roosevelt's portrait. Most will look perfectly normal. But the rare variety shows unusual doubling or overlapping in the mint mark area. Under magnification, the P may appear thicker, distorted, or oddly shaped. Some collectors describe it as looking shadowed. Others say it appears like another mark sits underneath the P. Lighting matters enormously. Tilt the coin slowly under a lamp. Rotate it carefully. Sometimes the doubling only becomes visible from certain angles. This is why many valuable coins remain undiscovered for years. People glance too quickly and miss the tiny details that separate a 10-cent coin from a fortune. And condition matters. A heavily worn example can still attract attention, but the biggest money comes from coins with sharp details, brilliant surfaces, and minimal damage. Collectors call these high-grade specimens. One nearly perfect coin can become the centerpiece of a major auction. That's how stories about $1 million begin. Now imagine the pressure inside the mint when billions of coins are produced every year. Machines strike metal blanks rapidly, workers inspect endless trays of coins, and tiny mistakes occasionally slip through. Most errors are caught and destroyed. But some survive. And when they do, history changes. That's what makes rare error coins so powerful. They were never supposed to exist. Every collector dreams of finding one because each error tells a secret story from inside the mint itself. A mechanical shift.
Problem.
A punch alignment failure. A split-second mistake. Tiny accidents that create massive value decades later. Stories emerged everywhere. a cashier discovering a rare quarter, a teenager finding a doubled coin in lunch money, an elderly woman uncovering valuable dimes inside her husband's old toolbox. Hope spread rapidly, because unlike ancient treasures locked away in private vaults, these coins could still appear anywhere. That possibility created a new generation of treasure hunters. People started searching jars at midnight, checking coin rolls from banks, inspecting change after grocery trips. Some became obsessed, and for good reason. A single discovery could erase debt, pay off homes, fund retirement, or completely transform a family's future. That emotional possibility is what makes rare coins different from ordinary collectibles. They represent hope. Now let's go deeper into how experts examine the 1988p dime. Professional graders first inspect the surfaces carefully for cleaning or damage. Many people accidentally ruin valuable coins by polishing them. Never clean a rare coin. Even gentle wiping can destroy value instantly. After surface inspection, specialists analyze the strike quality. Strong details in Roosevelt's hair. Sharp lettering. Clear torch lines on the reverse. Then comes the most important part, the mint mark examination. Under high magnification, experts look for signs of repunching or doubling. On authentic rare varieties, tiny extra impressions may appear around the P. Some examples show separation lines. Others reveal unusual curves. Some display distorted edges that ordinary dimes do not have. These details can be incredibly small. That's why experienced collectors often use microscopes or jeweler's loupes. And here's something many people don't realize. Sometimes valuable coins sit ignored because owners assume the error is damage. That misunderstanding has cost people fortunes. A man in Ohio reportedly spent a rare error coin at a gas station before realizing what he had done days later. He searched desperately to recover it but never found it again. Imagine that feeling. Stories like that haunt collectors. Which is why experts always say to slow down and inspect carefully. Because one overlooked detail can mean the difference between 10 cents and millions of dollars. By now, you might be wondering whether the $3.1 million value is truly possible. Here's the reality. The rare coin market is driven by rarity, condition, demand, and story. When collectors compete fiercely over extremely limited coins, prices can climb into astonishing territory. Especially when media attention grows. And the 1988p dime has developed exactly the kind of mysterious reputation that fuels collector obsession. Rare errors create excitement because they combine history, mystery, and scarcity all at once. No one knows exactly how many escaped. No one knows where they all are. And every new discovery sends shockwaves through the collecting world. That uncertainty drives prices higher. Now picture an ordinary morning. You open a dusty drawer searching for batteries. You notice an old plastic bag filled with coins. You almost ignore it. Inside are dimes collected years ago from vending machines, road trips, and spare change. Most are worthless. Until suddenly, you spot 1988. Then you see the tiny P mint mark. Your breathing slows. You grab your phone flashlight. You tilt the coin. And there it is. An unusual shadow beneath the mint mark. At first you think your eyes are playing tricks on you. Then the realization begins creeping in. That exact moment has happened before. Ordinary people with no professional training have discovered extraordinary coins simply because they paid attention. Not because they were wealthy. Not because they were experts. But because they were curious enough to look. That's the magic of coin collecting. Treasure hides in plain sight. Across America, countless forgotten coin collections remain untouched in attics, garages, closets, and safety deposit boxes. Many belong to parents or grandparents who quietly saved coins for decades. Families inherit them without realizing what they contain. And sometimes the most valuable coin is the one nobody expected. Not the oldest. Not the shiniest. Not the biggest. Just a tiny dime carrying a rare mistake. As the years pass, surviving high-quality examples become even harder to find. Coins disappear into private collections. Others become damaged. Some vanish forever. Scarcity grows. Demand intensifies. And values continue rising. That's why experienced collectors remain relentless in their search. Because the next great discovery could happen tomorrow. Maybe at a flea market. Maybe at a bank. maybe inside your own pocket. Now let's talk about one critical mistake beginners make. They ignore modern coins. People assume valuable coins must be ancient. That belief is completely wrong. Modern era coins can become extraordinarily valuable because they are unexpected. When mistakes appear in newer coins produced with advanced technology, collectors become fascinated. That mystery increases demand dramatically. The 1988p dime sits perfectly inside that category. Modern enough to still appear in circulation. Rare enough to shock experts. Mysterious enough to inspire endless searching. And emotional enough to keep collectors awake at night dreaming about discovery. There's also something deeply human about these stories. A tiny coin carrying enormous value reminds people that opportunity can hide anywhere. Inside ordinary objects. Inside things others overlook. That idea resonates deeply with collectors between 30 and 70 years old because many remember simpler times when spare change actually mattered. Paper routes. Soda machines. Arcades. Pocketfuls of coins after long workdays. Those memories create emotional connections to coins beyond money itself. Every dime carries history. Every scratch tells a story. And every rare error represents a moment when history accidentally created treasure. Even today, collectors continue reporting strange 1988p dimes appearing in unexpected places. Some discoveries happen during estate sales. Others emerge from inherited collections untouched for decades. Each new find reignites excitement. Forums explode with discussion. Experts debate authenticity. Collectors rush to compare examples. The hunt never truly ends. And somewhere out there, another rare dime is waiting to be discovered by someone who almost ignored it. Maybe a truck driver emptying cup holders. Maybe a waitress counting tips. Maybe a retired veteran sorting old jars in the basement. Or maybe you. Right now. After hearing this story, you may never look at loose change the same way again. That's because once you understand how valuable rare errors can become, every coin transforms into possibility. Every dime becomes a question. Every mint mark becomes important. And every old jar of coins becomes a potential treasure chest. So tonight, before you throw your spare change aside, take a closer look. Check the dates carefully. Use a magnifying glass. Move slowly. Because one tiny detail could change everything. Collectors spend years chasing moments like this. The moment hope becomes real. The moment ordinary becomes extraordinary. The moment a simple coin becomes history. And if fortune smiles on you, the next coin you examine might carry the same mysterious features that turned an ordinary 1988p dime into one of the most talked about modern coin discoveries in America. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. Imagine reaching into a dusty old jar of coins on your kitchen shelf, pulling out a tiny dime no bigger than your thumbnail, and discovering that the little silver coin in your hand could be worth $3.2 million. It sounds impossible. Most people would laugh at the idea. A dime is something people toss into parking meters, drop between couch cushions, or leave forgotten inside cup holders for years. But hidden among ordinary pocket change is one of the most mysterious and valuable modern coins ever whispered about in the collecting world. The 1989 S-Mint Mark Dime. A coin surrounded by rumors, collector obsession, and stories that still keep treasure hunters searching through old drawers late at night. Many experts believe some of these rare dimes may still be out there, unnoticed, mixed into everyday collections, waiting for someone with sharp eyes to finally recognize what they have. Tonight, you are going to learn exactly why this tiny coin became legendary. You will learn the hidden details, the errors, the surfaces, the mint mark placement, the rare proof characteristics, and the tiny clues that separate an ordinary 10-cent coin from a life-changing discovery. Because somewhere in America, someone already found one. And what happened next shocked the entire coin collecting world. The story begins in 1989. America was changing fast. The stock market was roaring. Families were filling shopping malls. Video stores stood on nearly every corner. And millions of Americans carried Roosevelt dimes in their pockets every single day without giving them a second thought. At the San Francisco Mint, special proof coins were being produced for collectors. These were not ordinary circulation coins. Proof coins were struck with extraordinary care. Highly polished dies. Mirror-like surfaces. Sharper details. Cleaner edges. Collectors love them because they looked almost perfect. Every proof coin from San Francisco carried the famous S mint mark. Tiny, easy to miss, but incredibly important. And somewhere during production, something unusual may have happened. Some collectors began noticing certain 1989 S dimes looked different. Not just slightly different, dramatically different. The surfaces appeared strange under magnification. Some showed unusual doubling. Others had odd strike characteristics. A few displayed missing design sharpness where there should have been precision. And rumors spread about rare transitional mistakes and proof anomalies escaping the mint unnoticed. At first, nobody paid attention. That happens constantly in the coin world. People make claims every day. Most turn out to be worthless. But then a respected collector reportedly examined one example under professional lighting. And what he saw made his heart race. The coin appeared to contain characteristics almost never seen together on a Roosevelt dime from that year. The fields were deeply mirrored. The strike looked unusually sharp in some places and strangely soft in others. The mint mark alignment appeared abnormal. And microscopic doubling was visible near the lettering. The coin eventually changed hands privately. And according to long-standing collector stories, its estimated value skyrocketed into the millions. That is when treasure hunters everywhere started digging through proof sets from 1989. People searched attic boxes, inherited collections, old bank rolls, closets, estate sales. Because if one existed, others might exist too. Now before you dismiss this story as fantasy, listen carefully. Rare dimes have sold for astonishing amounts before. Throughout American history, tiny coins have created massive fortunes. A single rare dime can sometimes outperform gold, stocks, and real estate combined. Because rarity creates obsession. And obsession creates bidding wars. When elite collectors compete for ownership of something nearly impossible to find, prices explode beyond imagination. That is exactly why certain coins become worth hundreds of thousands, or even $1 million. And sometimes the rarest treasures are hiding in plain sight. Now here is where this gets truly exciting. Most people do not know how to identify a valuable 1989 S dime correctly. They look too quickly. They miss the details. And they accidentally spend coins worth fortunes. So let's slow down and learn exactly what separates an ordinary dime from a potentially valuable one. First, check the date carefully. You need to see 1989. Not 1988. Not 1990. The date must clearly read 1989. Next, look directly above the date near the lower left side of Roosevelt's neck. You should see a tiny S mint mark. That S means the coin was struck at the San Francisco Mint. If there is no mint mark, it is not the correct coin. If there is a D mint mark, it came from Denver and is a completely different issue. The S mint mark is critical. Now here is something many beginners never understand. Most 1989 S dimes are proof coins. That means they should have mirror-like surfaces. When you tilt the coin under light, the background should reflect light almost like glass. The raised parts of the design should appear frosted. This contrast is extremely important. Collectors call this cameo contrast. And on rare premium examples, the effect can be breathtaking. If your coin looks dull and worn like regular pocket change, it is likely not valuable. But if it shines with deep mirrors and razor-sharp detail, your pulse should start rising. Now comes the next step. Examine the lettering. Look closely at the words Liberty, In God We Trust, and United States of America on the reverse. Rare error varieties may show signs of doubling. This can appear as extra thickness around letters, shadow-like outlines, or slight separation in the text. You may need magnification to see it properly. Even tiny doubling can dramatically increase value. And this is where ordinary people often miss million-dollar clues. They glance at coins for 2 seconds and throw them aside. Real collectors inspect every detail patiently. Now check Roosevelt's profile carefully. On valuable proof examples, the strike should appear incredibly sharp. Hairlines should look crisp. The face should show strong detail. The torch on the reverse should appear clean and bold. Weakness in unusual areas combined with other anomalies may indicate something special occurred during striking. Next, inspect the edges. A genuine proof dime should have exceptionally clean rims. Any strange distortions, doubled edges, or irregular formations could signal minting abnormalities. Now here is where the mystery deepens even further. Some collectors believe a tiny number of experimental or transitional proof dies may have been used briefly during production. If true, that would explain why a handful of strange examples continue appearing in private collections decades later. The United States Mint has never fully confirmed these stories publicly. And that mystery only fuels the obsession. Because uncertainty creates legends. And legends create million-dollar hunts. Imagine the tension inside an auction room when a rare coin appears under bright lights. Collectors lean forward silently. Phones ring. Private bidders compete from around the world. Every heartbeat feels louder. Because they know they may never see another example again. That is how prices explode. Not because of metal value. Not because of silver content. But because humans are emotional creatures. We chase rarity, history, mystery. And when those combine into one tiny coin, anything can happen. Now let me tell you about something that changed one collector's life forever. An older man inherited several dusty proof sets from a relative who passed away. For years, the boxes sat untouched in a closet. One rainy afternoon, he finally decided to examine them. At first, nothing seemed unusual. Then he opened a 1989 proof set. Inside was a Roosevelt dime with unusually deep mirrors. The surfaces looked almost black under certain lighting. The strike appeared strange. And the mint mark placement looked slightly unusual. Weeks passed. Then came the phone call. Experts believed the dime possessed characteristics tied to an extremely rare proof variety. Suddenly, collectors began contacting him. Offers appeared immediately. 5 figures. Then 6 figures. The man reportedly sat speechless in disbelief. A coin he almost ignored had become the centerpiece of elite collector attention. That is the power hidden inside rare American coins. And stories like this continue inspiring treasure hunters across the country. Now let's talk about condition. Condition is everything. Even a rare coin can lose enormous value if damaged. Fingerprints, scratches, cleaning marks, discoloration. All of these reduce collector demand. Never polish old coins. That is one of the biggest mistakes beginners make. They think cleaning improves value. In reality, cleaning often destroys it. Professional collectors prefer original surfaces. Even tiny hairline scratches from wiping can slash value dramatically. If you believe you found a special 1989 dime, handle it only by the edges. Place it carefully inside a protective holder. And never attempt repairs or polishing. Now here is another important clue. Look for deep cameo contrast. This is where the raised design appears frosty white against dark mirrored fields. The stronger the contrast, the more collectors become interested. Exceptional deep cameo proof coins can command astonishing premiums. And when combined with rare errors or die varieties, the numbers become unbelievable. That is how tiny coins end up worth $1 million. Because collectors are not simply buying metal. They are buying uniqueness. A story no one else owns. Now imagine this scenario. You are searching through an old family collection late at night. Your eyes are tired. You almost stop looking. Then suddenly, one dime catches the light differently. Its surface gleams like a mirror. You tilt it slowly. The lettering looks doubled. Your heartbeat starts speeding up. That moment is what keeps collectors searching for decades. Hope. Possibility. The dream that unimaginable value might be hiding inside ordinary objects. And sometimes, that dream becomes reality. Throughout American history, incredible discoveries happened by accident. Rare pennies found in lunch money. Nickels discovered in junk drawers. Dimes hiding in inherited collections. Every major discovery began with someone paying attention when others did not. Now let's go even deeper into authentication. Professional grading companies examine coins under high-powered magnification. They study strike quality, surface preservation, mint errors,
Die varieties.
and authenticity markers. This process is essential because counterfeit coins exist. As values rise, fakes become more common. That is why certification matters enormously for high-end coins. If experts determine a coin is both genuine and exceptionally rare, its value can explode overnight. And that possibility continues driving the hunt for the mysterious 1989 dime. Collectors know most examples are ordinary, but all it takes is one extraordinary discovery, one overlooked treasure, one hidden rarity sitting forgotten in a drawer somewhere in America, maybe inside an old coin album, maybe inside a safety deposit box, maybe mixed into a deceased relative's collection nobody bothered examining carefully. And perhaps someone watching tonight already owns one without realizing it. Now think about this. It happens more often than most people realize. That is why education matters. The more details you know, the better your chances become. So remember these key identification points. 1989 date. Mirror-like proof surfaces. Possible doubling. Strong cameo contrast. Unusual strike characteristics. Sharp detail. And exceptional preservation. Those are the clues collectors search for relentlessly. Now picture the excitement of opening a package containing a professionally graded rare coin. The slab shines under light. The label confirms authenticity. And suddenly a tiny dime becomes a historical artifact worth a fortune. That emotional rush is impossible to describe unless you have experienced it. Collectors chase that feeling for their entire lives. Because rare coins connect us directly to history. Each one passed through real hands.
Real moments.
Real lives. And sometimes history leaves behind mistakes. Tiny imperfections. Minting anomalies that accidentally become treasures worth more than houses. That is exactly why people continue searching. Now maybe you are wondering. The truth is complicated. Most proof coins were sold directly to collectors and protected carefully. But over decades, collections break apart. Coins get spent accidentally. Inherited items get dumped into circulation. Children use valuable coins without understanding their importance. It is entirely possible that rare examples remain undiscovered today. That possibility alone keeps the hunt alive. And every year, more forgotten collections resurface. Estate sales uncover hidden boxes. Old jars appear from storage units. Bank rolls reveal surprises. The next discovery could happen tomorrow. Maybe even tonight. Somewhere, someone is probably searching through coins right now with shaking hands. Hoping. Dreaming. Looking for that impossible miracle. Because miracles have happened before. And they will happen again. That is the magic of coin collecting. Ordinary objects become extraordinary. And among all modern American coins, few stories capture imagination quite like the legendary 1989 dime. A coin surrounded by whispers. A coin tied to million-dollar rumors. A coin that transformed ordinary collectors into obsessed treasure hunters. So before you ignore that old proof set, before you throw loose change into a jar, before you overlook that tiny silver coin staring back at you from the bottom of a drawer, take another look. Study the details. Check the mint mark. Inspect the surfaces carefully. Because one small discovery can change everything. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million.